The best pick of the draft last night, the worst pick of the draft last night. Let's start with the best. I think you can make an argument the Nuggets had the best pick of the draft.
Yeah, I think they're on the short list.
They didn't get the best grade. They were getting Bs and B minuses.
Well, they would have got C's and D's and F's if they had taken
anybody else.
I'm just saying. As much as we all kind of like it here, there are a lot of people around the country that they just still think he can't shoot.
Yeah, I think we're all going to get, now that we get our close-up look at Moutier, I think everybody's their eyes are going to open to exactly who he is and what he is. You're talking about when he's coming out of high school and the number 2 or 3 recruit in the nation.
Right.
So, I mean, this is not chopped liver coming to the Nuggets. So it'll be interesting to see how he opens eyes.
All right, outside of the Nuggets.
Okafor, I think, was very, for a guy who started last season as the #1 overall, without question guy. Did Philly want D'Angelo Russell? Yes. Did they still get a guy who could have been the #1 pick? They did, and I think that's worth something.
Worst pick of the draft.
Willie Cauley's tied at number 6. I think
he's saying that in part just to rankle me. You know that.
But there are concerns about his foot problem. There are concerns that he's got no offensive game. There are concerns of how's he going to fit in with DeMarcus Cousins. Was this a move made just to say to DeMarcus, we love you, we're going to give you a defensive brother that can take care of you. You will be the older brother that does the offensive. He will be the younger brother that takes care of all the garbage stuff, the rebounding stuff. It seemed to me like that was the only way they could save this Carl DeMarcus Cousins situation. So I think they reached. I think that will not be in order for him. And Jay Bala said last night he's got to be an all-star
defensive player.
He's got to be an all-pro defensive player.
Yeah.
I think he'll come close.
I do too.
I mean, and he doesn't have to. Yeah, and he doesn't have to score, so that's even better because, So now you have DeMarcus Cousins to handle all that, and now all you have to do is block shots, run the court, dunk. He can do that.
I'm going to give you an even bigger reach. Porzingis. Porzingis at number 4 for the Knicks. Think about this, guys.
Oh God!
Even the Knicks.
Get off that.
Even the Knicks know that this guy is a few years away. So who's going to be left by the time he becomes a player, if he becomes a player? Yeah. Melo's going to be 34, 35 years old by then. Yeah. Phil Jackson's not going to be around if this guy ever becomes a player. That was a terrible pick, and it's the pick the Nuggets needed to happen for Moutier to fall to number 7. Really? You got a bad pick? You got one that you're looking at? I'm not a Stanley Johnson fan either, so I think...
I guess my understanding is he killed it in the Detroit workout, so they really dialed in on him, and we're happy to have him. But I know you don't like Stanley Johnson.
I don't.
Me and you are different sides of that fence.
I'm so glad the draft's over. I can get over with the two of you and Stanley Johnson and Porzingis.
I want the draft to happen over again today.
I'm gonna make a bet.
That was a great draft. I mean, the draft a lot deeper than anybody assumed 6 months ago.
Yeah. I'm going to tell you though, and I'm going to stay alive long enough to tell you, the Zinger's going to be a player. Zinger. That's my name for him. Zinger.
Porzingis? Zinger.
No, he's the Zinger.
Great.
And when he goes up and he makes a shot, zing! Yeah. And I'm going to turn to look at you every time. This is Dirk Nowitzki. This is Paul Gasol. This is a guy who is a player.
This is Sean Bradley.
You took it to the Sean Bradley.
I went there. Sean Bradley.
Look at that. And that's the Sean Bradley look.
Sean Bradley couldn't shoot from me to this, from one hand to the other.
You could dunk on Sean Bradley. Everybody else did. And he was 7 foot.
He is not.
19.
This is a guy that's going to average a lot of points in the league, and he's going to take
in the D League,
away from the basket.
In the D League or the NBA?
You were so. I can't wait. I cannot wait. I am going to work at my life to make sure I stay long enough to look in your face and get in your face and tell you, you are totally wrong. You are so wrong.
And that segment was sponsored by John Elway Cadillac in Park Meadows, Colorado's #1 Cadillac dealer.